Welcome back to my unfinished bedroom that is not going well. Everything I buy, I don't like. I think I'm too late to return some stuff, so I'm in a bit of a situation and it's deeply offending me how bad it looks on camera. But anyway, today we're going to talk about, I want to bring your attention to 4 of the stupidest skincare trends I've seen recently. These are some that have been around for a while or are new and that I truly hope die a death in 2026. Starting strong with when creators apply a product to their face and then talk about the glow from that product. This annoys me no end because they'll often do the finger bouncy thing, which we all know is annoying, but mainly because glowy skin is not just wet skin. You can't just put a liquid wet toner on your face and be like, whoa, my skin reflects the light now, look how glowy it is, because obviously that's going to sink in. That's not what people mean by glowy skin, and it just feels like a cop-out. To me, it just feels like a cop-out. I'm a skincare creator, I make ads, I know that you have to sit there and think about how could I make this ad interesting and not feel like a really annoying ad, and I just feel like the whole bouncy skin, wow, look at my face, it's reflecting the light because it's wet, because you've just put something wet on it, is a cop-out. However, I will say, in defense of creators, I know a lot of the time that idea comes from brands, because there are many nice people who work at brands. I used to work at a fashion brand and we used to work with influencers. Sometimes they create the brief and they don't know what to put, so they'll be like, show the audience how glowy it makes your skin. And a lot of people and a lot of creators don't think very critically about sometimes anything that they do, or they feel trapped, I guess. And so they will just do what the brand asks, which is not what I do, and probably why brands find me annoying. I find that very irritating and I would like to see that die out in 2026. I don't feel like currently I'm seeing it die out. I feel like I'm currently seeing it be like a default boring ad type, but I really hope we see some progress on the death of that particular trend, because what I want from glowy skin is skin that glows without tons of product on it, or skin that glows through product. I don't want a toner that is going to make my skin reflect light because my face is wet and then it's going to absorb into my face 5 minutes later and my skin's going to look the same as before I used it. That's not what we mean, and we all know that. The second trend, this one annoys me because it is irresponsible, and that is doing millions of dots of retinoids all over the face. I will be able to find you so many examples of this. And again, just like the first one, I think this is 2 things. I think this is brands telling creators to do this in the brief, and I think it is creators trying to get views because they see that other creators got 1 million views on their reel from this dot video, because obviously it's shocking. Honestly, it annoys me because, like I said, it's irresponsible. It's kind of unsafe to use that many dots of a retinoid all over the face. Is kind of unsafe. Yes, probably the worst reaction you're going to get is redness, swelling, barrier damage, maybe swollen eyes, but still, I guess it's not life or death most of the time, but you don't know that. And the creators who are doing this, they either don't know that it's kind of low-key dangerous, or they don't care and they're just doing it for views. And that's what irritates me, because it's you are being very careless with your influence, because there might be some 17-year-old who does that at home and gives themselves a mild chemical burn, and you're just because you got 100,000 views on it. That irritates me because I just think that's irresponsible, and what does that say about your morals as a person? I just think it's kind of crazy. It's also just not helpful. It's not helpful because now it's confusing people. Because I know, for example, dotting a retinoid onto your face, maybe 5 or 6 dots, that is not irresponsible or unsafe. That makes sense. That's not how I apply my retinoid, but I understand that for some people they like doing it that way, and that is, by all intents and purposes, a safe method of applying it. But now people are seeing this 1,000 dot technique, and they're starting to question their own method, and they're starting to think and be confused, am I applying it wrong? That's one of the things I hate about social media, because it's you're purposefully confusing people because you don't have any rules that you stick to. You don't really stand on anything, and that irritates me as a creator myself. Also, those creators are washing that off their face afterwards. I just know it. They are doing that and then they're wipe it off. Right, what's the next video I need to make? And if they're not, and they're going to bed with that much product on, it's because they don't know they're doing. I actually ummed and ahed about making this video because sometimes I think, is it productive to just sit and moan? But I actually think that it is sometimes, and I think I don't just want to sit there and be yeah, like that if you want to. No, one of my core purposes as a creator is to help people actually see results, and that also means critiquing what's happening on the internet so that people understand that's not a normal thing to do. So I actually do think it's helpful, but I would love to know if you think this type of video is helpful at all. The third one is what I'm going to call Botox related tat. People love to use Botox in their TikTok shop ads. The reason they do it in the TikTok shop ads and you don't see it in like Sephora or like Cult Beauty, Space NK, like actual skincare brands. The reason you don't see skincare brands saying like Botox in a bottle or like Botox like results or results like Botox, like the reason they don't say that is because that is illegal. There is such a thing as an illegal drug claim, and brands make them all the time. It's prolific on TikTok Shop. There's always a stick that promises to give you like Botox results, or a mask that is the same as Botox, or a serum that is Botox in a bottle. The reason that people on TikTok Shop do that is because they have no fucking clue. I really like don't want to swear, but like they have no clue what they are going on about, because if they did, they would know that making that kind of claim is not something that you can actually do. Otherwise you'd see it in all the skincare ads, right? You would, but you don't, because there's a reason you can't do that. And also you can't do that not only because it's like the wording is an illegal claim, because the claim is crazy, because it's not true. Like for example, I'm sure there's like a Dr Melaxin calcium stick. Sometimes the product is okay, but the claims make it seem like a bad product because maybe that stick is hydrating. They know that people aren't going to buy it if they call it hydrating stick. Do you know what I mean? This actually makes me so passionate. But like for example, a Botox stick. People are calling it the Korean Botox stick. Let's break that down. Why are they calling it Korean Botox stick? Well, it is a stick, so that's fair. You can have that. Korean. Maybe it's Korean brand, but why are they calling it that? Because they know that Korean skincare is trending, it's having a moment, and that if they use that word, people are more likely to buy it because they want to jump on this hype. Botox stick. Well, Botox is a poison that you inject into your muscles and it can cause muscle atrophy. Is that actually what's in the stick? And do we want that in a stick? No. Like Botox is a poison. You can actually find the toxin in Botox more commonly in like a really out of date canned good because it's a naturally occurring poison. It would be crazy to have anything that is as powerful as Botox in a stick that you just rub all over your face, because if it actually had any Botox-like qualities, it would paralyze your whole face and you wouldn't be able to eat, swallow, blink or breathe. And I just don't think people get that. Because also, like, if you zoom out a bit and say, Natalie, like, you're getting a bit too het up on this, okay, fine. But if you look at what Botox, like, how does it work? Say if I actually don't really move my face and I get a lot of Botox like accusations, which sounds like a humble brag, but I think I'm just like waiting to be told that I'm autistic, basically. This part of my face, I don't really move it that much. When people have lines on their forehead, for example, this is why they always say, is there anything I can do before I get Botox? Because it feels like Botox is a last resort, because they'd rather just buy something from a shop that they can put on their face than inject something into their face. Fair enough. But what Botox actually does is, you are having these lines on your forehead, for example. Sorry, it's very itchy today in general. Like, either you have lines here, like crow's feet from moving your eyes, or you have lines on your forehead. Generally speaking, the way to get rid of that line is to stop the skin from wrinkling, because if it's just constantly wrinkling, it's constantly doing this every day, there's just a crease that's being reinforced every time you use it. The only way to stop that crease from becoming permanent is to stop the skin from moving in the first place, which means you have to paralyze the muscle underneath it so that the crease, you know, it's like a crease in a shirt when you iron it. Like if you keep creasing it and you keep ironing it, the wrinkle's going to be there. But if you stretch it out and you iron it and you don't move it back, then you're not going to have a wrinkle. And it's the same thing with Botox. This is why a stick or a serum is never going to work, because you can't put something as powerful as Botox in a stick or a serum, because people would be rubbing it all over their face willy-nilly. They'd give themselves Botox poisoning, essentially, be facially paralyzed and die. I should have not taken it that deeply, but that is the truth. That is the truth. So they can't put that in a stick or a serum, and they never will. I need to move on from this. I think you get the point. I call it Botox related tat because people love to just add Botox onto whatever it is that they're selling, because that's a word that people latch onto and hope that they're going to get something for free. They hope they're going to get a Botox-like effect that is impossible to get from a stick or a serum. So if you ever see anyone saying this Botox this or Botox that and it's not actually Botox, likelihood is 99.9% nothing like Botox. Moving on. I've got my list. I'm the girl with the list. The last one, morning shed. Okay, I'm also passionate about this one, but I'm pretty confident you're going to know what the morning shed is. The morning shed is where people attach various different things to their face. They'll usually have some kind of like collagen mask, a lip, mouth sleeping, what's it called? Mouth tape. Mouth tape so that you don't sleep with your mouth open. And maybe some kind of like snoring thing here, usually like heatless curls. Oh, and also this like peel off lip thing, which I personally tried and I really don't like it, but I do understand that a lot of people seem to really like it. Anyway, this was a massive trend in 2024, and I would say the start of 2025. I feel like this has successfully died. However, I did just see another creator do it like a couple of weeks ago. Maybe that creator does do the morning shed seriously, but I just could not feel any more strongly that people who do the morning shed, especially last year and the year before, those videos, they only do them. Like, I'm a creator, I feel like I can tell. Like, they're doing it because it gets a lot of views. Peeling something crazy off your face, like doing quite shocking things on camera, it gets you a lot of views. And I think people rely on it as like something to do when they don't know what other content to make. And I really think they're only doing it for that night, but they're giving you the impression that they're wanting you to think that they do it every day, but no one wants to do that every day. And also, I think a lot of it is like counterproductive. I often see people with the like collagen, like biodance masks that they've slept on overnight, and then they've slept on their pillow. And then, like, for example, you know, when you wake up with lines on your face because your pillow is like crinkled, they're getting that with their collagen mask. So all night long, their face is like creased and the collagen mask is like reinforcing that crease. And I'm like, that is literally a shortcut to getting wrinkles. Like, that is how wrinkles are formed, in part. So it's almost counterproductive. And then I also hear the sound that it makes when they like rip off the lip mask or they like rip off the face mask, and it sounds dry. It sounds dry. And I'm like, that is literally aging your skin faster than standard just going to bed. So it just doesn't make any sense to me. Obviously I understand heatless curls. I would love to be like a daily heatless curls girl, but I'm just not. I'm just not. I can barely style my fringe. But the morning shed is one that I feel like it is on the way out, and I felt it was gone, but then I've just seen a slight resurgence of it. It's just this thing that gets me about these trends is because I just can tell that the creators who are doing them are just not actually doing them, and they're only doing them like for that day or for that night because they want people to think they do it all the time. And that's what frustrates me. When as a creator, I can see when a creator is taking the piss out of their audience and they're like, oh, love you guys, and I'm like, you don't know, like, because you're feeding them crap, like you're feeding them nonsense and you know it for your own financial gain. Anyway, this video wasn't meant to be about that, but yeah, that frustrates me. And like, just think about how many people swore by the morning shed when it was trending and now just don't talk about it at all. Speaks for itself. Let me know if you like this kind of video. I always get a little nervous because I don't like coming across as really negative. I like coming across as like giving you my honest opinion. And you know, if we were in a cafe and you asked me about something, I've given you the answer about these trends that I would give you then and there. But I think because I'm not the smiliest person, I'm not that animated, I have been called like negative or just like downbeat or sarcastic in the past. And if you knew me as a person, you know that I'm not that. I am quite dry. I guess you either like that or you don't, but I just don't necessarily know if I want to make it a habit of coming on the internet and ranting. But I also think it is helpful to just get like an honest opinion on a lot of these trends. So I'd love to know if you think this is a helpful video and if I should keep doing more of them. Good day.